वनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, let us see. If one of us can read the Mangalacharan. Sushilpa Mataji, you want to read? Is it what it is?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. Yes, Prabhuji, I can. Hare Krishna, devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadhantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sarvam Shri Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Haribol Mataji. Very nice. That was very good recital. So, devotees, we have completed chapter 7. The chapter 7 was titled Knowledge of the Absolute. So, in this, under our realization, whatever we are experiencing now, these are all relative, not Krishna consciousness, the material interaction, understanding, realization, they are relative. For example, we may get electricity from the electric company, water from the water company, but that's a relative. Who is the ultimate provider of water? Who gave the water? Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything comes out of him. That's the absolute understanding. So, from chapter 1 through 6, Arjuna used to ask some questions, and Krishna used to very nicely explain. For each question, on an average, Krishna explains about 4 or 5 verses very nicely, more than that sometimes. And but in 7, he himself is talking about his qualities. What are these, like he is the fragrance, he is the fire, he is the is the ability for the able, strength for the, everything comes out of him. Fire. So, let us, why not, that is 7. 7 ends with a very nice verse. Krishna is saying here, no, I went to a wrong. No. So Krishna is saying, adhibhūtaṁ, adhidaivaṁ, adhiyajñaḥ. It's all me, Arjuna. So in chapter 8, Arjuna is going to ask little more after quite some time, because he has not really spoken for quite some time in chapter 7. So he is asking this question. Devotees, when a very elevated personality asks a question, clarification from a superior elevated, the ultimate elevated personality, or even in a general terms, a Sishya and a Guru, it all depends on the quality of the discussion is very, very high. Arjuna and Krishna is the highest quality. Even in the Guru Maharaj, and when Srila Prabhupada had disciples and devotees asking in question, it should be all spiritually related. We should not ask mundane question to Guru. Same thing, we should not really seek anything mundane material from Krishna. It is like going to the richest person and asking that, oh, you are so powerful, so rich, can I get a discount coupon for oil change? My friend got it $100. They stopped, but I also want a coupon. What a laughing thing, right? This Supreme Personality can give the best, that is the Krishna realization, but we are asking for all mundane things. One time, a reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, you're saying we are all, who are all in the Krishna consciousness movement, they're all elevated. If you are elevated, if Krishna is within you, you should know everything. So can I ask you a question? He said that, okay, if I can answer, I will answer, Srila Prabhupada said. He said that, can you tell me how many houses are there? This is in New York. And how many windows are there for each houses? So Srila Prabhupada did not even hesitate. He said that, what is the point in asking such questions? It is like asking how many drops of water are there in a mirage. Mirage itself is an illusion. That doesn't mean the houses and the windows are illusion, but eventually these are all temporary. The houses may not be there eventually, or the windows may not be there. So what is the point? So Acharyas recommend that whenever we interact with spiritually, oriented personality, our question should be very, very spiritual to take us to the highest level. When we do that, the person who is asking the question, as well as whoever is listening, that's why all our ISKCON, when Guru Maharaj and other senior devotees come, asking question is very important, because it's elevate everybody. Not everybody will be asking the question, but that one devotee asks a very good question that clears up a lot of understanding. So devotees, let's go to chapter 8. But before that, I thought let us one fast recap of what has been happening all through this time. Okay. So chapter 1, we are seeing chapter 1 starts with attachment, doubt, lamentation, misplaced compassion at both ends, both for Dhritarashtra as well as Arjuna. Arjuna has also fallen into some kind of a compassion. My uncle, my family, and so on. Dhritarashtra has been like that since beginning. He had developed, because he was born blind, he always used to lament, why my life has become this? And he had so much attachment, severe attachment towards his sons, especially Duryodhana. That is the cause for all the Mahabharata. Chapter 2, Krishna explains what is our true identity. Devotees, when we read Bhagavad Gita, it is said that we should be very clear about 5 things, if not more. Who are we? Jiva. What is this place? Prakriti. That is where the 3 modes of nature and the dualities come. What is karma? What are our activities? Every moment we are doing something. What is time? Kala. And then obviously the most significant, who is the ultimate Ishvara, Bhagavan. So chapter 3 tells us what is karma, what are we supposed to do? Krishna says, everybody, if you're breathing in this material world, you are doing some karma, knowingly or unknowingly. Chapter 4, he's talking about the knowledge. He's also saying what is dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So we should know our karma here. Let's see. Our karma here should be based on dharma. We cannot just do some mundane activity. Everything should be related to what is the right thing to do, because Krishna is dharma. Then guru, the importance of guru. Krishna says, evam parampara proktam, right? This knowledge is well understood. You can implement better if it comes from the guru, because they come in the discipline succession. For us, we are very fortunate. We are all following this, Madhava, Gaudiya, Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya Parampara, as propagated by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and all our Guru Maharaj, senior devotees. Then Krishna is talking about chapter 5, how to act. Here it is just karma, here it is karma yoga, which is nishkama karma yoga. How to act in Krishna consciousness. That is very important. Okay, 6 is Dhyana Yoga. Krishna very detailedly, the entire chapter, he talked about the various types of yoga, especially Dhyana, Ashtanga Yoga, how you have to purify the 4 categories of physical purification, then the higher mind, how you dhyana and how you do samadhi at the end. But very important, I believe it is 6, 29 or something like that, the last verse. He says, out of this, the person who can do dhyana yoga on a devotional understanding is very dear to me. And then that brings, even without Arjuna asking any question, he's talking about who is the absolute. How can we know the absolute, which is Krishna? Otherwise, mostly we are in this material platform. We just deal with relative. Who is the richest person? There is a name there. Today, this morning, this person is the richest person. Some magazine or some research company would come and say, we have done all the research. This AB's, X, Mr. X is the richest person. After 1 month, he may not be the richest person. After 1 year, he may not be. Same thing. Miss Universe, Mr. Universe, these are all come. Nowadays, we don't even remember who was like, can anybody name who was Miss Universe 2022? Any idea? We don't know. We don't even remember. Gone. Very temporary. But Krishna is the absolute. So he is giving his own qualities. And then we read, like in the last verse, he's saying that he is the adhibhūtaṁ, adhidaivaṁ, and adhyajñaḥ. Now, here, our Arjuna is going to ask between 1 and 2, verse number 1 and 2, he is going to ask 8 questions. 5 questions in text number 1 and 3 questions in text number 2. Devotees, Krishna is so merciful. He's going to spend all this, how many verses are there? Almost 28 verses to answer these 8 questions. Very important, especially one question, which we will come to know on text 2. But right now, why don't we read devotees? 8:1.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can try if any other devotees want.
It is Sushilpa Mataji?
Yes,
Or
Prabhuji.
who? Yeah, why not we...
Sure, Prabhuji.
Is Indra Mataji willing to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
So, chapter 8, text 1. Arjuna uvāca kim tad brahma kim adhyātmaṁ kim karma puruṣottama adhibhūtaṁ cha kim proktam adhidaivaṁ kim ucyate. Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice, Mataji. Very good. Pavan Prabhu, you want to try?
Sure, Prabhu. Arjuna vacha kim tad brahma kim adhyātmaṁ kim karma puruṣottama tama adhibhūtaṁ cha kim proktam adhidaivaṁ kim ucyate.
Daivam.
Adhidaivaṁ kim ucyate.
Yeah, very good. Daivam is all the devatas. One more devotees, shall we take? Shushipa Mataji, you or Baldesha Prabhu, you wanted to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. I will read it on Kim tat brahma kim adhidātmaṁ kim karma puruṣottama adhibhūtaṁ cha kim proktam adhidaivaṁ kim ucyate. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Prabhu. Devotees, one of us can read synonym translation, and I think the purport is not too long. One devotee can read the purport.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Synonyms. Arjuna uvāca. Arjuna said, Kim, what? Tat, that. Brahma, Brahman. Kim, what? Adhyātmaṁ, the self. Kim, what? Karma, fruitive activities. Puruṣottama, O Supreme Person. Adhibhūtaṁ, the material manifestation. Cha, and. Kim, what? Proktam is called. Adhidaivaṁ, the demigods. Kim, what? Ucyate is called. Translation. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Mataji. Devotees, again, let us pay attention here. This is Brahma, not Brahma, which is Lord Brahma, not Brahmana also, because in the English translation, maybe it is spelled the same way. This could be even read as Brahman. It's not Brahman, it is Brahman. Normally they write Brahmana, they would have put another A. So this is referring to the self, what is Brahman. Okay, who can read the purport, devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Purport. In all glories to Srila Prabhupada. In this chapter, Lord Krishna answers different questions from Arjuna, beginning with what is Brahman? The Lord also explains karma, fruitive activities, devotional service, and yoga principles, and devotional service in its pure form. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains that the Supreme Absolute Truth is known as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. In addition, the living entity, the individual soul, is also called Brahman. Arjuna also inquires about Atma, which refers to body, soul, and mind. According to the Vedic dictionary, Atma refers to the mind, soul, body, and senses also. Arjuna has addressed the Supreme Lord as Puruṣottama, Supreme Person, which means that he was putting these questions not simply to a friend, but to the Supreme Person, knowing him to be the Supreme Authority, able to give definitive answer. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Would you like to share some thoughts, comments, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, over here, Arjuna is trying to understand what is the self, and what is the soul exactly, and what are fruitive activities. What is basically is questioning everything that's around him. What is material manifestation? Who are these demigods? And what is existence itself? So that is my understanding of what the translation is. He actually inquires about what the soul is and what's the nature of the soul. What is the body? What is the distinguish? Yeah, that's my understanding, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Devotees, more thought on Arjuna's question?
Yeah, this is Pawan here, Prabhuji. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the first thing that comes out is Arjuna's recognition that he is asking this to not a regular person, right? So that's, I think, the first understanding we get. It is Arjuna's question itself starts from "O Supreme Personality." So that kind of gives us, the indication that Arjuna knows who he is talking to. So, and then the questions that he asks is also very deep, not like regular mundane questions. He's asking what is the Atman, what is the, Prakriti, what is karma, and the kind of the overall deep questions, and he understands who he is asking to.
Prabhu, two amazing observation. Very good, Prabhu. Yeah. Here, the word puruṣottama, when I used to first start reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, I was little bit intrigued by the phrase Supreme Personality of Godhead, because we have not heard such a terminology. What is the Supreme Personality? We know God, then now we understand. Uttama Purusha is the supreme of all the Purushas, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Now we understand. Yes, there are Ishvaras, which are all the Devaṁ. But he is the Parama, he is the most, absolute, ultimate, utmost. Yeah, very good observation, Prabhuji. Here, Arjuna is slowly trying to understand, because, see, we have to understand Arjuna's position. He has known Krishna as a friend all the time, as a cousin, as a good guide. He has never seen him. That is also a Leela of Krishna. It's not that Arjuna is not capable of understanding Krishna. He's not like Duryodhana. But this is all the Yoga Maya. A good, because he can have a very good friendly relationship, Sakya Bhava with Krishna. Krishna likes that. He wants the Vatsalya Bhava from his parent. So these are all good. This here also Maya comes and puts a kind of coverage in our understanding, but they're all very, very highly elevated. It is done by Krishna, not as we Jivatma. We put ourselves, in Maya. So here he's slowly trying to understand that, yes, Krishna is amazingly my friend. And eventually in chapter 11, he would say, "Oh, Krishna, please forgive me." After seeing the Vishwarupa, he would say, "I have called you so many times, Krishna, Keshava, do this for me, bring this for me." They have eaten from the same plate. Slowly he's able to understand. It may happen in our life also sometimes, devotees. There may be a person whom we are kind of close, we don't understand their power. But there may be an occasion where we understand, wow, this person is so elevated, is so powerful. It could be spiritual, it could be material also. But we have taken them like granted, oh, this is my cousin or this is my friend or something like that. But when we come to know their, original potency and the capabilities, we get a little bit surprised. So he's slowly understanding that he's referring to Krishna as puruṣottama, the best words, That's a good observation, Prabhu. Two things, he's asking good question, spiritual question, very important. And he's referring Krishna because he knows Krishna, who is puruṣottama, the person, the Supreme Lord, you will get the perfect answer. Whatever comes from all of us, it may be to some extent true. But whatever comes from Krishna's mouth, it is perfect. So he is asking all these questions. More comments, devotees? Subal Prabhu, Srishil Pramataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, wonderfully explained. Here, we can see Arjuna, even in the second chapter itself, he surrendered. So he started asking all these wonderful questions about Brahman, adhyātmaṁ, karma, adhibhūtaṁ. According to the Vedic dictionary, Atma refers to the mind, soul, body, and also senses. And you wonderfully explained about the Brahman, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Puruṣottama, as we know, we have been, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is cause of all causes. And he can get, the specific answers, because he is the truth. I mean, we have to go to the source to get the actual truth. And as we know, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Krishna is the Sarva Karana Karanam, and he is able to give us all the answers. That's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhu. Krishna, again, is the supreme absolute truth. This we have to always understand. Absolute is not relative. Relative meaning it is based on time, place, and circumstances. It will keep on changing. Something might be true at some point of time. Something may not be true after some time. Something might be legal sometime, Dear devotees, I understand that maybe many years ago, decades ago, women wearing jeans in this country was illegal. Can you believe that? You cannot wear jeans. You cannot wear pants. So that is, at that point, it was a relative truth. You have to accept it because that is the law at that time. But those are all very material, temporary, gone. Where Krishna is always the absolute truth. Whatever he spoke, Bhagavad Gita is not dependent on time, place, and circumstances. It is all this, whatever he has said, will always be, perfect. It will be truth. It will be very relevant. Very good, Prabhuji. Sushila Mataji, you wanted to say something, right?
No, Prabhuji, I was just acknowledging a very good discussion. I had a question, probably it will come at a later point. In the first paragraph of the purport, end of the first paragraph, here it is described, Prabhupada says, Atma as body, soul, and mind. And in Vedic dictionary, senses are also added to the Atma. So, how is body considered as Atma? That is my question. Usually
Yes.
gross body, right, Prabhuji? So, yes.
Subal Prabhu, Baldev Prabhu, any answer for that?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry. Go ahead, please. Sorry, Prabhu. There's some. So I think this particular topic. I think when I was taking one of the sessions, we discussed on this point, Mataji, that when Krishna was referring to the word Atma, it's not necessarily referring to the soul itself, the spirit soul itself. He's like, whenever Krishna wants to emphasize on something very, very important, I think he was in that context, he was using the word Atman also. So, like, I think it's based, that word needs to be understood in the context in which it's being referred by Krishna in that particular verse, not necessarily like it always means the word like soul. I'm sorry, did I answer, Mataji? I don't know if I missed.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Even I think we read in one instance, Arjuna is also called as Krishna in one situation, I believe, or in one text. Something like that. You're explaining Atma it depends on the context, is what you're saying. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, in some of the verses, That's what I think. So the same question came up in one of the sessions, so I just thought of reiterating. But Baldev Seva Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you, Guru. So Sanskrit is a very poetic language. It has to go through the grammar and poetic rhyme and to get the exact meaning. Even the word Brahman in Gita, Krishna used for Krishna himself, for Brahman, that Brahmajyoti himself, for Jivatma, and for the metal wall also in 4 different verses. So the same word Krishna using for different purposes, but that's why we have to take shelter of the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada to know the exact meaning with that particular sloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Sushma Mataji, that's a good question, but I've been rightly responded by Karthik Prabhu and Baldesa Prabhu. Sanskrit is such a language, it is understood by the context, not by the word itself, because it's such a highly elevated knowledge. The speaker, the listener, they will all understand what is exactly meant by Atma in that particular context. Like Baldesa Prabhuji mentioned, Brahman could mean more than one meaning. So here, Prabhupada is explaining that here the Atma means also to the body, soul and mind. And according to the Vedic dictionary, Atma also refers to the senses. It depends on that particular context. But for our understanding, Atma is what is our soul, Jivatma, which is part and parcel of Krishna. It is spiritual. So when we say Atma, and the normal, when we are talking about the Atma, the quality of the Atma, it is very, very spiritual. It is part and parcel of Krishna, not the body. But Acharyas might have used, the Shastra might have used in a particular context. That also we should understand that based on the context.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then, yeah, wonderful discussion, Prabhuji. And this is a Sanskrit, as Baldev Prabhu mentioned, is a wonderful language where, I was listening to His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, I think yesterday. So Amarendra Prabhu, there was a context where Hiranyakashipu was, there is a shloka where he was criticizing Lord Krishna, of course, Narasimhadev, Varaha, he comes, right? And the same shloka, Mother Saraswati is, because Sanskrit is such a unique language, the same shloka is used to praise Lord Krishna. So, of course, and also we see that in Ramanujacharya also, in one of the context, his guru, not he was at that time, he was not, he was using one phrase as like, the back part of the monkey, but actual meaning was, lips of, Lord Krishna was reddish. So that was it. And also, Prabhuji, as you wonderfully mentioned about Brahma, sometimes, it is referred to as a living entity, and Parabrahma is referred to as Bhagavan Krishna. But in other contexts, as you mentioned, Brahman, is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. The context is, yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Mataji, there is a very nice exchange between Srimati Radharani and Krishna. We won't discuss this today, but Krishna would say, I am Hari. And just to tease Krishna, Srimati Radharani said, oh, Hari, are you the monkey? Because Hari also means monkey, okay? And he would say, no, I'm Keshav. Keshav also means hair. So you would say, no, I don't like too much hair, things like that, So it is Krishna, the way you interpret that the communicator will understand each other. But Srimati Radharani was doing that for just to tease Krishna, There's a very nice, there are like this about 7-8 things Krishna would keep on saying. I'm Shama. Then she would say, oh, you are dark. I really don't like darkness, And, Krishna would knock the door and he would introduce, he would say that I'm Hari, I have come, I'm Keshav, I'm Shama. For each one of that, she will say, I don't like that. So, it is a very, very highly elevated language, but it's a good question, relevant, very relevant. We should understand Atma is definitely the most purified part and parcel of Krishna, Jivatma. Devotees, again, here, Arjuna is asking about 5 very specific things. What is Brahman? What is this adhyātmaṁ? Then what is karma? Karma generally is fruitive action. Okay, unless it becomes nishkama karma yoga, then it is all for Krishna. Then puruṣottama is obviously, we know, it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. Kartik, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So again, I missed out on chapter 7, but I just had this question, Prabhu, that most of these subjects have already been covered by Krishna in the previous chapters, right? Like the very questions that Arjuna is asking in this sloka have already been touched upon by the Lord in the previous chapters and slokas. So is there a particular reason why now he is asking these questions again? I mean, is it just that he wants to understand it a little further deeper on these subjects, or in the context of I mean, I think it's important to understand how the chapter 7 ended. I think that may also give in some insights in terms of on which context Arjuna is asking these questions again.
Yeah, when we started, we also little bit touched the chapter 7. The end, because Krishna would say in the last verse that he is the adhibhūtaṁ, he is the adhidaivaṁ. Here, this is the last verse of chapter 7. Adhibhūtaṁ, adhidaivaṁ, adhiyajñaḥ also. So this is how we would end. That I am who knows me as the Supreme Lord to be the governing principle of the material manifestation, that is the adhibhūtaṁ, of the demigods, that is the adhidaivaṁ, and all methods of sacrifice, adhiyajñaḥ. So that is how he ends that one. But your question is relevant. Why Arjuna is asking again? You are right. Arjuna is actually asking for us to elevate and get better explanation we by this time we have forgotten everything we read in chapter 3 and 4. Most of the things. We remember some broad philosophy, but here he is going much more deeper. He is re-establishing, that's it. You are right. Brahman is already been explained. And, Daivaṁ also, Krishna has explained that even in 7 itself, he has explained. But there is a much more, for our purpose, he's putting together everything. And then the main thing is also 8:1 and 2 should be read together if possible, because here he's going to ask few more. Adhyātmaṁ, which was already there in chapter 7. Then, how does he live in the body? And then, how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? So, for this particular verse, especially how those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death, Krishna is going to tell many, many verses, I'm sure we will read that in the coming days. But let's go back here real quick. Many times it may seem that Krishna is repeating. Actually, it's not repetition. It is much more better understanding.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Bhagavad Gita is said to be, Prabhu, Bhagavad Gita is said to be not in a very chronological or sequential order. Even though it's a spiritual journey, from chapter 1 doubt to chapter 18, the complete removal of doubt and becoming completely enlightened, definitely it's a journey, but each verse can by itself can be very helpful. It's not dependent on another one. It helps definitely. So, for example, here, whoever is wanting to know about Brahman, they can also know, not necessarily from chapter 2. Here also, they would know that, oh, Brahman is, Jivatma, and of course, Srila Prabhupada is giving the explanation here. And then he is the Supreme. So, it is because I think in a very mundane way, Krishna is giving us multiple opportunities to understand the subject matter. Even if he did not understand it properly in chapter 2, even if he did not understand it properly in chapter 6, 7, this is again another opportunity. So, any more? Yeah. Raghu Prabhu, you want to?
Please go ahead after you are talk.
No. Please go.
Yeah, I was just going to say that in chapter 7, he gave us the knowledge of himself. The whole material creation, his internal potency, external potency, and the different types of people who worship him, different types of people who don't worship him. And then he continuously narrowed down towards the end of the chapter, where he came to a pious person, uh, what they do to know him. So now he is really going into further elaborating on that by answering some of all these basic questions which Arjuna is asking, and showing us how we are going to attain the Supreme. The pious person, how he goes about attaining the Supreme as we go on reading. That's what I think. Thank you.
Haribol Prabhu. That's nice, Prabhu. Yeah. Because even after reading chapter 2, even in the recent days, we had questioned what is Brahman. Right? Some of us had questioned what is impersonal, what is Brahman. So it is another opportunity for us to understand. So devotees, are there any more questions on 1, or shall we go to 2 so that tomorrow Sri Krishna Prabhu can start with all the answers from the Supreme Lord? Shall we go to 2, devotees? Okay.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, who can read 2? Okay. Let's see how long the purport is. Yeah, okay. You can cover. Devotees, please read. Baldeswar Prabhu, you want to read?
Thank you, Bhuji. adhyātmaṁ kathaṁ ko atro de smin Madhusūdana prayāṇa-kāle kathaṁ jñeyo niyatātmabhiḥ. Back to Bhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Devotees, 2 more. Devotees, if you can read.
I can read.
Okay, Prabhu.
adhiyajñaḥ kathaṁ potra dehe smin Madhusūdana prayāṇa-kāle kathaṁ jñeyo niyatātmabhiḥ.
Very good, Prabhu. 1 more, devotees.
adhyātmaṁ. Hare Krishna. adhyātmaṁ kathaṁ kotra dehe smin Madhusūdana prayāṇa-kāle cha kathaṁ jñeyo niyatātmabhiḥ. Hare Krishna.
Okay, devotees. Very good, Prabhu. Very good, nice. Devotees, synonym translation.
I can read Prabhuji.
Okay.
Synonyms. Adhiyajñaḥ, the Lord of Sacrifice. Kathaṁ, how. Ka, who. atra, here, dehi, in the body, asmin, this, Madhusūdana, O Madhusūdana, prayāṇa-kāle, at the time of death, cha, and kathaṁ, how, jñeyo, you can be known, niyatātmabhiḥ, by the self-controlled. Translation: who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body? O Madhusūdana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji, very nice. Perfect. Why not? I think two devotees can read. Pawan Prabhu, you want to read the first two paragraphs?
Sure, Prabhu. Purport: Lord of sacrifice may refer to either Indra or Vishnu. Vishnu is the chief of all primal demigods, including Brahma and Shiva, and Indra is the chief of the administrative demigods. Both Indra and Vishnu are worshipped by yajna performances. But here Arjuna asks who is actually the Lord of yajna, sacrifice, and how the Lord residing within the body of the living entity. How the Lord is residing. Arjuna addresses the Lord as Madhusūdana because Krishna once killed a demon named Madhu. Actually, these questions, which are of the nature of doubts, should not have arisen in the mind of Arjuna, because Arjuna is a Krishna conscious devotee. Therefore, these doubts are like demons. Since Krishna is so expert in killing demons, Arjuna here addresses him as Madhusūdana, so that Krishna might kill the demonic doubts that arise in the Arjuna's mind.
Very nice, Prabhu. This exactly explains why Arjuna is asking. To the question Karthik Prabhu asked, why is already all these 7 chapters are covered, why is asking? Because here Arjuna is saying that why is calling him as Madhusūdana? Because he killed the demon Madhu. Like that, he's saying doubts are also demon. Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining. So this doubt is again coming. We know Krishna is supreme. Still, we have to understand Krishna is the supreme Lord. Again and again, we have to keep on. Every morning, we have to, that is because of our ignorance, our lack of faith, our Shraddha, Sadhana, and so on. So here, very nicely, Srila Prabhupada is explaining and why he is being referred as Madhusūdana. Our doubts are also demon devotees. Krishna can destroy the demon. Okay, now who can read the next paragraph and we can discuss a little bit.
If no one is there, I can read, Prabhuji.
Sure, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Now the word prayāṇa-kāle in this verse is very significant because whatever we do in life will be tested at the time of death. Arjuna is very anxious to know of those who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness. What should be their position at that final moment? At the time of death, all the bodily functions are disrupted and the mind is not in proper condition. Thus, disturbed by the bodily situation, one may not be able to remember Supreme Personality of God, Supreme Lord. Maharaja Kulashekara, a great devotee, prays, "My dear Lord, just now I am quite healthy, and it is better that I die immediately so that the swan of my mind can seek entrance at the stem of your lotus feet." The metaphor is used because the swan, a bird of the water, takes pleasure in digging into the lotus flowers. Its sprouting proliquity is to enter the lotus flower. Maharaja Kulashekara says that to the Lord, "Now my mind is undisturbed and I am quite healthy. If I die immediately thinking of your lotus feet, then I'm sure that my performance of your devotional service will become perfect. But if I have to wait for my natural death, then I do not know what will happen, because at that time my bodily functions will be disrupted. My throat will be choked up, and I do not know whether I shall be able to chant your name. Better let me die immediately. Arjuna questions how a person can fix his mind on Krishna's lotus feet at that such time. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any further thoughts, Prabhu?
Yeah, wonderful, verse, Prabhuji, here. As we can see, Lord Krishna is the ultimate, beneficiary of all sacrifices. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we read that, the sloka where Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer of all the sacrifices. So, and also Arjuna addresses him as Madhusūdana, as we mentioned. He killed all the doubts like a demons, so, and as we know, Krishna killed the Madhu demon. And the good thing is, like here, Prabhupada is explaining about how Kulshekar Maharaj, was saying, like he would like to give away his breath at this time, at this very time, because he says that I am healthy and now I want to remember you at the time of my death. Because as we know, sometimes we heard, sometimes for non-devotees, the death is like, very painful. 40,000 scorpions biting at the same time. So at that time, it is very difficult for a normal person to remember Lord Krishna. But for devotees, Krishna will remember them and make them remember Krishna at the time of their death. So in that same way, Kulshekar Maharaj is saying about the wonderful sloka about prayāṇa-kāle. So I think yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatante kalevaram. Over there also we can see that how at the time of death, whatever we have, we are going to get that. And we have seen like Priyavrata Maharaj and like Bharat Maharaj, all those Maharajas. Please correct Hare Krishna then.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very nice, Prabhu. Yes, here Prabhupada is giving the reference of Kulashekar Alvar. It's a great Vaishnava. And he's saying that, oh Lord, today I'm able to see nicely, I'm able to hear, I'm able to speak. So maybe this is the perfect moment for me to leave the body. Because tomorrow, the next moment, I don't know under what condition I would be. So that is that Mukunda Mala. That's a very great poem written by Kulashekar Alvar. So these are all the great devotees, and Krishna is going to specifically answer this particular verse. He's going to answer other 8, right? There were 5 in 8:1, and here adhiyajñaḥ. Then this where does this reside in our body? Dehe. Then prayāṇa-kāle, at the time of death, how we should know you. Very important, right? So Krishna is going to answer all these 8 one by one. That is the entire chapter 8, devotees. Very nice explanation from will all follow. But any question, devotees, on 1 and 2, or even on so far whatever we have read? We got a few more minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandapranam. Prabhuji, can you throw some more light on that, my dear Lord, just now I am quite healthy, and that one, and also the metaphor about the swan, Prabhuji?
Here, this one?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we have discussed this in recent days also. This entire Krishna consciousness is a process. It's like a preparation for us. At the time of death, we don't know what condition we would be. We may even have consciousness or we may not have consciousness. We don't know. But as aspiring devotees, we all pray that Krishna give us the opportunity to remember you all the time. For devotees, death is nothing as a punishment or something to be really looked upon as a very serious negative, or that it's a punishment. And normally we take death as a punishment. For devotees, it is going to the elevated position. Either we are going to be elevated in our next body, or I want to be serving Krishna all the time. That is my main goal. Whatever body I take. And there is an opportunity that Krishna can accept us in Goloka Vrindavan also. We leave that to him. But our thinking is that, Krishna, please keep me in your service all the time. All the time, in any form. Doesn't matter what form it is. But even to think that, do we have the ability to do that? Unless we practice, how will we do it? Even after practice, there is no guarantee we'll be at that particular moment, we will be able to think about God. That also, there is a very nice verse in chapter 15. Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Smriti meaning remembrance. Jnanam is knowledge. Apohana meaning forgetfulness. Krishna gives you that remembrance. So we should pray to Krishna. Krishna, give me that moment to remember you. Otherwise, we'll forget him at the time. Death is the examination. Karna was a very powerful warrior. He was much powerful than Arjuna, but he had a curse. He could not remember the mantra at the most wanted time. Why? Apohanam. Krishna made him forget everything. So our prayer should be, Krishna, please make me always remember you, especially at the time of death, so that I can get elevated. I really don't want to be in this material world. But if you want me to be here, I'll be there. But please always make me sure that I remember you, I'm in your seva. Srila Rupa Goswami says that should be the eternal prayer of all devotees, that we should ask for seva, remembrance and seva for Krishna. Does it make sense, Subal Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, the metaphor here used is because the swan, a bird in the water, takes pleasure in digging into the lotus flowers. So that means
So
that,
this one,
yes, Prabhu. So like Kulshekar Autwar is saying, like that, he wants to take the lotus feet of the Lord, right, Prabhuji?
oh, this one you're talking about. Okay, here,
Yes,
right?
yes, Prabhuji.
The metaphor is because the swan, the bird of the water, takes pleasure in digging into the lotus flower. Its sporting proclivity is to enter the lotus flower. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that should be the mood of the devotee is always to think about Krishna. But this is a practice. That's what we are trying to. Whenever we have the opportunity, we are chanting, we are thinking about Krishna, or we are engaged in some kind of a seva. Why do we have to do that? Why cannot we just try to think about Krishna at the time of living prayāṇa-kāle? Because it will not happen. It will not. It's like taking an examination without studying. You will not know anything, right? So today we are preparing for the examination. Hopefully Krishna will accept that and we would be able to pass the examination. Devotees, any more thoughts? Pawan Prabhu, you want to say something?
No, I'm good, Prabhu. Very, very well said, everybody. Very good conversation.
Okay, Prabhu.
I have one quick question. So the second part of the three questions here, how does it live in a body? So is he essentially asking how does he enter all the bodies as a Paramatma or all the living entities?
Right. Krishna is going to answer all those, Prabhu. In the coming verses, let us take a real quick. Here, all this 8 questions posed by Arjuna is going to be answered by Krishna. So all this verse will very in detail, Krishna will answer all those. So that is something I'm sure one by one we'll get into that tomorrow. But dear devotees, I have a request today. We should ask our very dear elevated devotee, Subal Prabhu, to lead class on Thursday. We have to request him.
No, Prabhu.
Devotees are very humble and they say, shall we all request Prabhuji?
No, Prabhuji, we would like to hear from you, Prabhuji.
No, man. Why not we do that? Devotees, can we say Haribol to Subal Prabhu that he can lead on?
Or Baldev Prabhu is here.
No, Baldev Prabhu is also there, but Baldev Prabhu on Tuesdays and Thursdays is already taking Bengali Bhagavad Gita one day and Bengali Bhagavatam other day. So he's already, engaged. But Baldev Prabhu, one Thursday Subal Prabhu, one Thursday Baldev Prabhu. How about that?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Haribol, Hare Krishna. So devotees, will conclude here. Tomorrow will be again another very, very amazing journey. Krishna is going to, this entire chapter, Krishna is going to answer all the questions. So please participate. Have a wonderful Krishna consciousness evening. We shall conclude here. Okay. Vanchakalpatarvyasya kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. ISKCON Tampa Sankirtana ki jai. ISKCON Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. All those to the assembled devotees. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Ram Prabhu ki jai.
Hari Bol.